Hello everyone, this is Allegedly Caleb, and today we're going to be overviewing Armored Commander 2. This game is a roguelike war game, and you'll take command of a tank and its crew in the Second World War, joining one of over 50 campaigns across Europe, North Africa, Southeast Asia, and the Pacific. You'll fight against over 800 historically based unit types, and each day is truly a struggle for survival. So the way this game breaks down is, I'll show you. You will start a new campaign. You'll pick the campaign you want to take part in, and all of these campaigns have involved armored units. So you've got everything from the early war, mid-war, late war. So you can see there are a lot of different scenarios to choose from. So let's pick, say, what's this one? Let's do Bagration to Berlin. So let's do the Western Front. Okay. So you pick the time period, and then after the time period, here's all of these different information. So our player force is Germany. These are the enemy forces we can potentially come across. We're in Northwestern Europe. Right now, we have a total of 80 combat days. You got the creator and the difficulty. Now you can change the amount of days, so you can do 16, 40, 64, 80. And then you can also even select a random campaign by pressing R. But let's move on. And actually, I'm going to go into... Oh, I don't want to delete my own campaign. Let's see. Let's select this one. Okay. So this, at the very beginning, you'll be given a choice of like 2 or 3 tanks to use. You'll pick one or you'll pick a random one. And all those tanks will come from the period. So if it's 1941, you're not going to be given a Tiger II as the Germans. This game is very historically accurate. So anyway, this is how the game works. So you have your specific mission. In this mission, we're playing as the Germans in the Battle of France. Today's mission is Spearhead. And this is our tank. We're in a Panzer II. We've got our crew. Each of our crew members has certain skills. We've been with them for a certain amount of time. Here's the skills for the crews. So this is my commander. If the commander dies, the game... Well, this is a setting, but I always like to have it on. If the commander dies, then the game is over. So, in this campaign, we've already played through the invasion of Poland, and now we're about a quarter way through the invasion of France, and we've already won a Knight's Cross, and we have 2 wound badges. So, this commander is fairly experienced. Then we got our loader. There's a whole skill tree you can use. Anyway, so that's how the crew works. And then the tank, you have very detailed descriptions of every single tank. More than just tanks. Armored cars, tankettes, tank destroyers, a whole bunch of stuff. And I can show you the library of all the different units in this game because it is quite a lot. So, and you can see here we have a 20 millimeter long, I don't know what the A stands for, but a 20 millimeter long gun and a coaxial machine gun. It's a small tank. We've got 1 armor value on the front and sides, 1 for the turret, and same with the hull. So it's not very armored. And then it's a slow turret, a restricted slow turret. So that means that if your commander is looking out of the top like hatch, you won't be able to fire the gun because the commander operates the gun. That's why you can see right here, commander/gunner. And this will be different depending on the type of tank. Anyway, so let's go ahead and start the battle. Okay, so now we go out with the ammunition we want to start. We'll just autofill the recommended loadout. Right now, since it's still so early, we only have an option of high explosive and armor piercing. But as the game goes through, we'll start to get access to some of those more rare types of ammunition, like APCR, stuff like that. Okay, here we go. So our tank is this one right here. This is the map. It's all very retro style. You have certain hexes that are worth victory points. And each hex also has different types of terrain. So we probably want to stay out in fields. Okay, let's get started. So the things you can do on the campaign map. You can move into each hex, and every hex you move into can generate an encounter, where you'll encounter enemy units. Now when you go into a hex, you can shoot into the hex to potentially pin enemy units there. You can request air support, which today we don't have access to that because it is raining and overcast. You can also request artillery support and unit supports. So let's go ahead and travel. Actually, you can also recon. This will give you an idea of what is in these zones. So, support weapon, team, infantry squad, APC. How about over here? 3. Just an APC. Okay, we're going to go this way. Okay, nothing here. Alright, now we're going to go up here. Medium tank. The rain is cleared up. Ooh, we encountered enemy resistance. Okay, so now is when you get into the meat of the game. There is fog, so we're going to want to... Actually, and since we're fighting against a tank, we have something called a ready rack, which is... it lets you put a certain type of ammo on this ready rack, and it'll make your unit reload a lot more efficiently. So we're going to switch to AP. Okay. Reload driver will still spot, because we don't want to move quite yet, because we want to manage this ready rack. So we're going to fill it all with AP. There we go. Okay, that looks good. H39. Okay. Alright, so we have to discover it. Now let's operate gun. Driver, you're gonna drive. Okay. Well, let me see the... Interesting. Anyway, let's go ahead and fire at it. He is hold down, which is not very good. Oh, here it is. Show target info T. Okay, so here's the H39. It's a medium tank. I really like the art in these games, by the way. But it's got a 37mm gun, so it outguns us. Ooh, and it's got pretty good armor. You might need to withdraw from this. I don't think my tank's gonna be able to pen that. Okay, let's give it a fire. So this is how this works. You got this is how the firing works. You've got all these different types of modifiers, and then it's just a die roll on whether you hit or not. Uh-oh. So is he facing us now? Uh-oh. Okay. There's a small chance we can hit him. Okay, we missed. Oh, one of our squad mates destroyed him. Perfect. Okay, so that's how battles work. Let's go ahead and... Sorry about that. I accidentally pressed F1 to go to the glossary. That also stopped my recording. F5, there we go. This is like a quick reference guide. So this will tell you everything you need to know about your tank. So take a look at everything. If you're interested, you can go ahead and pause to look at this. But let's go ahead and save and quit. Okay, so that is a normal campaign. You do have mods as well. I don't have any loaded right now, but you can mod in different units, different campaigns. There's a bunch of stuff you can mod. Got campaign records, so here we go. We've got this one, which was an unfortunate KIA in the Poland campaign. Does it let me? Yeah. So this is this campaign record. Won an Iron Cross first class. This is the second campaign record, and this is the same guy that we were just playing. So, in this game, one of the cool things you can do is you can have a campaign that spans, or you can have a game that spans across multiple campaigns. So, for example, in my German playthrough, I started out fighting the Poles. That game ended. My character survived, and we were able to go into the French campaign. Now, at the start of every new campaign, you're offered to switch your vehicle if you'd like. At that time, I think I had a Panzer IV when I was playing as the... By that time I ended the Polish campaign. I think like a Panzer IV A or B. So I kept that. But anyway, let's go into the unit galleries. So these are all the different units. You can see how detailed they all are too. You can even filter this gallery if you're curious about certain things, certain types of tanks. So it's starting out with all the Polish tanks. Those R-35s and the H-39s are pretty good tanks. Some Vickers. Oh, the 7 TPs. These are actually pretty good too. This is an actual Polish tank. And it was pretty good for its time. But yeah, you've got armored cars, AT guns, artillery guns, anti-aircraft guns. Yeah, and all of these are, you can see, historical rarity. So like something like this big 220 millimeter artillery gun, you're only going to encounter that with a 5% chance. But at the very bottom, it even shows the origin. And then on the right, you've got a bunch of different kinds of, yeah, variants, which is cool. So anyway, we'll keep scrolling through these a little bit longer. Oh, you do have planes too. Got armored trains. I encountered one of these in my campaign, I believe. Here's the tanks. Panzer 1s. You can see the Panzer 1 is pretty bad. It is slow. It has like no armor. It has a restricted turret. It just has a machine gun. Let's take a look at all the different versions of it. And for Poland, you can see they are quite normal to get. Even in 1940, during the invasion of France, the Panzer I was still widely available. Panzer II, those were everywhere. That was the main battle tank of the Germans in 1939 and 1940. Flammenpanzer, that thing's cool. You got all of these different versions of the Panzer II. Panzer 35, these are originally Czech tanks that the Germans took when they occupied Czechoslovakia. Then you got the Panzer IIIs. Flammenpanzer III. Panzer IVs, I think that's what I was in. I like the way that they develop. Like the looks. Ooh, you got some Panthers, Panzer Vs. Look how much armor they have compared to the Panzer IVs. Then you got some of these little guys. L-38s. I think that must be an Italian tank. Yeah. Oh, and here's their version of a heavy tank. The Italian P-40. It wasn't actually that bad, but it was just too late. It was pretty much too late by the time the Italians were actually able to start making these. Oh, you can even use the German captured tanks. So like the German captured Stuart, captured Crusader 1, Crusader 2, Crusader 3, Matilda 2, Valentine 2, Valentine 3. Here's another Italian tank. Oh, German or Soviet T-26, B-27, T-60, T-70, T-34s, all the different variants of T-34s, KV-1s. It's pretty crazy, the amount of tanks. You got your Tiger P, which I don't know. I don't think any of these were ever actually used. Oh, yeah, I guess a few unconverted ones were attached to Panzerjäger units as command vehicles. I'm pretty sure they converted them all to what are those tanks called? To the Ferdinands, the tank destroyers. Anyway, here's some Tigers. Some Tiger. King Tiger. And then you move into more. Some captured French tanks. B2. And then you got your assault guns. We're just going to go through the whole German group of tanks. Stugs. These are Italian tanks. Back to German tanks. Not all the Stugs are Italian tanks, just the M42s and M43s. Sturmpanzers, those things are cool. The 150 millimeter gun. Hummels, Grills. These are self-propelled guns. These are not meant to be up in the front lines. Wesp, Panzerjäger Tiger, also known as the Ferdinand. Or Elephant, not Ferdinand. Some Martyrs. Jagdpanzers. Nashorns. Look at that guy. It's a big tank. Then you even got all the armored cars. Yeah, there are quite a lot of vehicles modeled in this game. Now you got all the Soviets, but we won't go through all of them because that'll take forever. But anyway, so that is Armored Commander 2. That's a general overview of how to play it and what to expect. It's quite unforgiving, but it's also quite fun. So if you enjoyed this video and want to pick it up, definitely do so. I highly recommend it. Anyway, everyone, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.